As we wait for people to come on in, we're waiting for people to come on in. Whew. Good evening. Hi, Minnie. Let me invite you to join me as a guest.
Hey,
Hey, Minnie.
I
I gotta check my ears. Honestly, I feel like my volume's always low.
oh, it's probably me. I was right in the middle of episode 5. So give me just a second to pause it.
Well, I
Oh,
mean, the
mercy.
fact that you have stayed awake to be part of this, I really appreciate it. Hi,
Oh,
Brooke. Hi, all those. So, as folks are coming on in, just want to remind folks if you're able to do your daily heart me, which is the orange heart up on top, that'd be great. If not, just double tap on the side there, and um, it will give hearts. And thank you, Jenny. If folks feel comfortable giving gifts, also that'd be great. Or you could also share. I told Minnie this is going to be a short one today because I came from, thank you, Karen. I came from watching A Quiet Place day one for the second time. As some of y'all know, I watched it with my niece. Thank you, Karen, again. And what had what had happened was I was originally supposed to, thank you, Ziki and Kimmy. I was supposed to originally watch it with my friend Chad, and he has renal cancer right now. And I tell y'all's I went to pick him up, and it doesn't matter how many times I've seen him since his diagnosis. th- it's still so weird. I was trying not to cry because I know he said his mom cried seeing him twice. Um, but he's just such a shell of himself. Even trying to get out of the car, I was like, and even walking with him, it's like it's very different. It's very different when you've known somebody for like you pretty much my whole life and just seeing that change so much. But I'm not trying to be a downer. I'm just saying that's the reason why I'm doing one so late because we just finished watching the movie, which we again I like that movie. That's why I was like I'm willing to watch this a second time if you're willing to actually go. So yes, so LYSS says, "Did you see the pic that Nicola posted today? So cute." I did. And actually, I have my with me joining with me today is Minnie, and I think Minnie has a lot of thoughts. And I said, sure, you can come on in and share your thoughts about everything because Minnie probably is in the know better than I for sure, because life has been busy for me today. So I have seen things that folks have given me, but I don't haven't seen much aside from what people have given me. So I know Nicola's photo came out and then the Bridgerton cast too. But Minnie, what were some of the thoughts you wanted to make sure that you had a chance to share?
oh my goodness. So I've just been a ball of emotions today. Let's just start there. I have been up and down and up and down and just crying, and it's just been so much. So the thing that I noticed about the picture, first of all, well, even before the picture, we went from number 10 to number 8, and now at number 6 overall, most viewed. Nicholas said it's reported the most watched all time in 1 month, the most watched season of anything. But when I was looking at the picture, at first I was like, well, why isn't Luke in any kind of like costume or anything like that? And then I started zooming in and I'm like, wait a minute, he has a beard, a little, 5 o'clock shadow there. And then I went back and I read it, and she said this was the last scene. Her last scene with him had already happened, but it wasn't her last scene altogether. That's when they did the light show for her. When she was writing, I think it was the start of episode 5, when she was writing as Lady Whistledown about the engagement. He
Hmm.
came back on set just to see her off because he knew it would be emotional for her, I believe. And he was just dressed as regular old Luke, there to be a supportive friend.
What was that dramatic pause, Minnie? Don't think I didn't miss that dramatic pause that you did there.
just
I like how you were
just to
choosing your
be
words
a
carefully.
supportive friend. Yeah. So,
Is that why
I'm
you ended up watching episode 5 right now?
I started at episode 4. I'm not gonna lie. I had to start at the end of episode 4 to kind of ease me into episode 5. But yeah, because I was like, he's such a supportive friend, and I need to see all the eye contact that's in this episode because, it's really in their eyes that they bring things out and make me feel such great emotion. It's in the eye contact. I don't
Oh, you're
think
muted right
except the
now.
eye contact.
Oh, there you go.
That's it. Ah, okay. Sorry, I had a call.
Oh, live paused. There's a phone call. So while Minnie's coming on back, okay, there's Minnie's back.
Yeah. I'm on do not disturb, so that won't happen again. But yeah, so
Who is calling you at this time of night for you? I mean, this time of night for me, it still makes sense, but isn't it like closer to midnight for you?
it's 12:07. It is.
Okay, who's calling you? Is it emergency? Should you be do not disturbing someone calling you at 12:07?
No, my husband's in the next room.
Oh,
Don't call me out like that.
oh, wait a minute. I think I just stepped in something that I wasn't trying to step in.
Yeah, we just have supportive friends. That's it.
Okay.
Just support, just supportive friends. But yeah, so like I've been like, what is everybody? Thank you, pair. That's it. It's a friend. That's it. So did anybody else catch that? Did like anybody else see that?
Which part?
The the picture and kind of put that together that he wasn't filming that day.
Well, the first time I saw something was people sent me a video done by Ho Ho that had that observation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said folks are so observant because I would not have picked up on that whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, so Megan said, yes, I noticed that. Oh, Amanda White says, I noticed that too. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's because people are way more observant. Parrot Tartalette said, "Yeah, we all saw it." So I feel called out. Like, yeah,
Everybody except
you're just.
Phoebe.
I got called out as like you're just reporting our news because you don't notice jack squat, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong.
They're like, Phoebe, get with the program.
Everybody noticed but me. No, look, I've been adulting all day long, all right? I haven't had a chance to process anything. Laura yawns like, what are we noticing? Laura, what we were noticing is Nicola shared a photo of the final day of her filming. And she's in her outfit for that episode, and Luke is there in just regular clothes, and she's giving him a hug from behind, around his neck and stuff like that. And folks noticed that because he was in regular clothes, that this must have been her final day of shooting, and it was not his. That he just came by to support.
And someone else said a little earlier that they thought it was the last day that the intimacy scene was filmed, but that wasn't on the last day of filming. They had already done the intimacy shoot. Before that, she had said in an interview that that was their last scene together, but it wasn't her last scene that was filmed. I think a couple of people thought it may have been in a reshoot that that she had to come back and reshoot maybe some of the scenes where Penn was writing. And I think who was it that said TLR Vibe said they were thinking in Meals Live that it was the last day of filming and just got dressed. That's so I would have thought that too had I not zoomed in and saw a little stubble on his face. If you zoom into the picture, you see like a little stubble where he had started growing out a beard. Like when I tell you, I've been analyzing all all of
Y'all are
this.
FBI.
Like I've been
FBI out here.
analyzing all of it. Like I zoomed in and I made sure because I'm like, well, could it be a shadow? And then I'm like, well, it's a 5 o'clock shadow, but it's not like a shadow of anything else. Like you can see some stubble. Let me see if I can. How do I do it? Green screen. Do you know how to do a green screen?
Oh no, I am like the worst person to ask that question. I don't know jack squat usually.
Okay, I think I have the picture, but I have it where it's zoomed in. Hang on.
Lauren says, not me going to zoom into the picture.
That's what I'm trying to do now because I know
Karen
I
said,
have it.
LOL, love it.
Hang tight.
All right. So while we're hanging tight, um, so it seemed like folks are feeling there are a mix of opinions around whether this was truly just Nicola's final day or if it was both of their final days. So one of the options that people are saying is it was actually both of their final days. I think the reason why people feel that is because she used the word hour in the caption, but that could have also meant just the people surrounding her, not necessarily our like Luke and Nicola. But if it was the idea that they did the intimacy scene, he got dressed and she did not. Oh, I see that 5 o'clock shadow immediately
Okay,
though.
do you see that?
Yeah, I immediately see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless that's just bad shading. Um, like in the intimacy scene, but in the intimacy scene, see, I haven't had a chance to rewatch. I am not one of the folks that helped them get to number 6. I own it completely. Um, but my question is, in that intimacy scene, he didn't have any stubble. He was just clean shaven.
He didn't
At
have
least from
any. And then also she wasn't wearing the head thing in the intimacy scene. That was she had her hair completely down. I can't show it on here actually. I was about to say I can fast forward the TV and get it, but
yeah. Don't get me
yeah,
banned here.
no. No, we're
No.
not going to get you banned. No. But yeah, so I can't remember if did he have any stubble? Can anybody check and see?
Well, somebody said in this one there was no. He wouldn't have. Karen said he wouldn't have stubble in intimacy scene.
Right. Because he didn't have stubble, like, he hasn't had stubble at all. Like, they've made sure that he was clean shaven. Lexi said they're saying he was visiting her on reshoots.
So Luke's sneaking in for a second. Lexi.
Not for
He's
seconds.
trying to get fed again. But Jennifer said she wasn't wearing the headband. I had to go back and look myself.
Yeah.
So, is it Dr. Christina Reyes said in the scene she has the band was when she was writing about the compromise.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and Jessica Lynn said, nah, this isn't her look for their last intimate scene.
Right.
I think that the thing people are okay. So I think the stubble is the thing, really, more than anything, because I can understand people saying things around like he could have just changed his clothes after the intimacy scene, and she filmed the rest. But the
Right.
stubble is a very convincing argument because you can't just get stubble after a few hours. Well, I mean, sometimes, I guess. I suppose it depends. Like when I used to shave my legs. I was like, how are you growing back already? That's why I got laser hair removal on my legs because it was so annoying how quickly it grew back.
Oh God.
Okay, Megan said, I'm watching it. He was shaving into intimacy
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kurt seeing, when was the surprise light show? It was after this. It was during or after this particular shoot. It was at her last shooting. So they did they did the when she was writing about the engagement, and then that's when the light show happened, and you can see it. She had on the exact same thing. Her hair was the exact same and everything, and you can see it in the beginning of episode 5. Yeah. And Megan said nothing in her hair. Yeah, there wasn't anything in her hair during the intimacy scene either. Yeah. I just love that picture. I've just been like, this is where I've been since she like, I don't know what I was doing, but of course I have her notifications on. And because I had a feeling when we went to spot 6, because we were just in spot 8 last week. And then the week
Hmm.
before it was 10. So in 2 weeks, they've climbed from 10 to 6. So I had a feeling when she saw that she was going to make a post. I was hopeful for anything, but I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming at all. I didn't see it coming at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here's a few things that folks said that I wanted to actually read out. Kurt Seeing said, OMG, so Luke probably came because he knew they would surprise her with the light show. That would be nice if he knew that and he came to surprise. Now, I know that Bridgie fan did like an edit of this picture and made it into looking like a Polaroid. But folks are like, wouldn't that be great if this was her new Polaroid? And someone did ask me, but then I'm like, I mean, I'm fairly sure there's no Polaroid that was taken. This was just, I mean, Bridgie fan could probably say or not, but it looks like just this photo, but cropped out the back of the rest
Yeah.
of the photos and put it in a Polaroid form. It would be nice, but I don't think they took a Polaroid of this moment. Um, oh, Kurt Singh said, "What if Luke helped set up the light show?" I mean, I don't know about that level, but
I'm sorry, I have a cat in heat over here.
oh, that was a cat. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Come on, Papa.
Karen says she does have that nightgown on underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Danny said he doesn't need to be there to support her on the last scene. It's absolutely so kilig. Um, someone asked if Luke liked Nicola's post. I
Not yet, but she
don't know.
posted it like at midnight their time, so I
And
didn't
yeah,
think she
and
he
he's
would.
usually like a day or two later he
Mm-hmm.
likes something. I mean, that's why I was telling folks that when he was going through that period where he had to like everything immediately because
Right.
of that whole TikTok. I mean, I was telling folks I felt like that was more odd. Him going
Mm-hmm.
back to like every 2 days, after 2 days or so, that feels more like Luke.
Right.
Lauren said last I looked, Luke hasn't posted anything. What are your ladies' thoughts on that? I mean, I feel like that's Luke
Right.
personally.
Right.
I don't expect Luke to necessarily post, um, but that's what I think. I don't know. Minnie, what's your thoughts?
I'm kind of right there with you. I'll be surprised if he reposts her story, because she did post it on her story. So I will be surprised if he reposts it. But I don't see him posting anything just right now, because he's really not active on social media. So I try to just remember that it's normal for Nicola to kind of go like radio silent during the during the off season. But Luke he's never been super active. So yeah, I don't see him posting anything, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if he does, it's like kind of just a nice surprise, but it's not something I
Right.
expect from him,
Right.
to be honest.
Right.
Um, any other additional things that you have been combing over and you're like, Phoebe, I need to tell people my findings, my FBI investigation conclusions. Anything else?
Um, Not really. I think that I want to say that while I have everyone's on here, I just want to thank you because you've been so diligent in what you do, even when you're tired or whatever the case, busy or just dealing with life and adulting, you are still very active and you show up for us all the time. And that means a lot. You don't let things get to you, and if you do, you don't show it outwardly. So I just really want to thank you because the fandom can be absolutely crazy sometimes. And I think everyone agrees with me according to the comments. Like you, and I said it to you a few days ago, but you are truly one of the nicest, most thoughtful human
Oh,
beings I've had the privilege of knowing. So I don't know how often you hear it or if you hear it. I'm sure you don't hear it enough, but you have been a great addition to this fandom, to this ship, because it can get, I'm sure, tiring sometimes for you. And it just really it means a lot to be able to have a safe space to come into every night or whenever you go live. It means a lot to have this space and know that you don't play, you don't tolerate the BS, but you know how to do it in such a nice sweet way that you make people want to keep coming. So I just want to say thank you. Honestly, thank
Minnie,
you.
that really means so much to me. I almost like wanted to like hold back tears. I was like, oh, I'm feeling it in my heart. It's swelling up. But honestly, I had a conversation with one of my coworkers today, and she was like, I was describing the space that I'm trying to create, and she's like, that's really like, she says most places don't actually put boundaries on their space.
Right.
And I said I have really respectful people
Mm-hmm.
that follow me. If there are
Mm-hmm.
people who are hate watching me, they still
Mm-hmm.
know not to say anything. Like they
Right.
keep their hate in their respective spaces. They
Right.
like they watch me, then they go and talk in their own groups, and
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine because that's their
Right.
space.
Right.
And so it's like, go ahead and do that as long as you don't bring it into my space.
Right.
And they learn to not bring it to my space because they know that I will block them with a quickness. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the thing that people sometimes is the reason why people think that they can say anything that they want. In most places, because people want to grow their audience, they
Right.
want all the views, they want all those things. They're willing to endure all that hatred and all that negativity in a toxic environment
Right.
because it actually just really brings in viewership and it
Right.
brings in controversy and it brings all that stuff. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, there's enough spaces like that.
Right.
I want to
Yeah.
create a space that's very intentionally safe, and I will. And the thing is, sometimes people are not. So my coworker was saying that she would be the kind of person that would be like, I don't believe in shipping people, and I think it's like, I forgot what she had said. And she's like, so you would probably block me with quickness. And I said, yes, absolutely, I would.
Absolutely.
And
Mm-hmm.
she said, I think you would. And I said, no, I'm serious. I
Mm-hmm.
said, I love
Mm-hmm.
you, but I would. And I said,
Right.
because this is not what the space is. I mean, I
Yeah.
said, this space is literally for people to rejoice and celebrate with each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not setting up a place for debate. So
Right.
I mean, there's places in X, there's places in Tumblr, there's
Mm-hmm.
places in Reddit that like are most likely going, oh, all these people who are over analyzing things, just get
Mm-hmm.
over it, just be quiet, just disappear, da da da. It's like, hey, you
Right.
have that space to like
Yeah.
be in your feelings about us. We're not
Mm-hmm.
even thinking of y'all's.
Not at all.
Honestly,
Not
all
at
we're
all.
focused on is the joys of
Yeah.
Luke and
Yeah.
Nicola. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Such
so,
non-factors. Such
yeah.
non-factors. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm about to sneeze. Sorry about that.
Bless you.
Sorry. My
Bless you.
allergies just played up. But I just want people to have fun, right? And so the minute it
Right.
stops being fun, like I've had people who say, I need to take a break from the ship. I need to
Mm-hmm.
dock for a little bit. It's been really hard emotionally. And I said,
Yeah.
do that. Hopefully I'll
Right.
still be here when people come back, but
But
do
if
what's
they
always
don't,
best for you. And every person I always pro,
yeah.
yeah, do what's best for you. But,
Yeah.
but what I really want is people to love coming here and whether it's like we're thinking about memories of like what we like about the PR tour, like the
Right.
scenes we loved most, or just cute
Mm-hmm.
things that we saw. And I mean, we do try to bring each other back to reality sometimes, where we're
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
okay, maybe
Sometimes.
it's not this or that, but we still know how to rejoice over like cute things.
Right.
So,
Right.
oh, Jenny said I was invited on an X Live. OMG, I signed off after 2 minutes. Well, I mean, we live, we learn sometimes. Hold on, I'm gonna put
Yeah.
this up in the sky again because I need to. I know this is doing. I know people are like giving me tips on what I need to do to like take care of my nose because it's just. I should take allergy medicines. I hate it, so I avoid it. But I gotta stop. But thank you, Minnie. You really warmed my heart with that. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm glad I could, and thank you for
But
having me tonight. It's been super fun. I'm not going to take up your space, but I thank you for allowing me to join tonight. I truly appreciate it.
yeah, no problem. And I mean, if you need to sleep, you need to sleep too. Because I mean, it's way
Oh,
late
no,
over
no,
there
no.
for you.
I'm not
Um,
going down to sleep. I was just going to go
oh,
back to the comments so you could have your whole screen. I'm not going to sleep. I'm in
oh,
this till you get off.
okay. Well, I'm only
Sleep.
going to be here for another 33 minutes. And so I will read some comments. Do you know how to leave, like go back, or do I need to do
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, no, I
Did you
can
do?
disconnect. Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know how it works. Thanks, Minnie.
I've got it. Thanks everyone.
Thank you, Minnie. Hold on. All right, folks. My nose. Your patience with me and my nose. TLR Vibe says, I love the Shippers recap video from yesterday. Just love Luke and Nicola so much. Fun to see all the pics. Yeah, I think going back and just remembering, I think I just love being able to be nostalgic about really great moments. Um, Minnie, you're getting a lot of shout outs about how people love you. So, yay, and great conversation. Okay, I'm going to give you this guy again. Every time I think I've fixed my nose situation, and he says you guys are the best, and thank you all for having me. Yes. Oh, Jenny, that's so sweet. My day's not complete without your life. Oh, Ronnie just followed Minnie. Woohoo! I love that. And anytime people join, I always encourage folks to check them out. I mean, some folks just you know prefer to just stay on the down low. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with my nose. That is like skin. Um, Diana said, I know Bridgerton said it was the end of the season. Do you think we'll be getting more content? I mean, I feel like they're gonna try to. I feel like, right? So, oh my word, sorry, y'all. Well, I'm gonna just be distracted by that. So maybe I'll give myself a different camera angle where that does not show. Um, Heather B said, so what was the sweatshirt poll results? The sweatshirt poll results was mixed of shared and onset, but we know it's onset because other folks have onset, like they all have it. And there were many folks that were like, it's probably onset, but they would like to believe it was shared. Also, some folks that thought it was both an onset and a shared one, where it's like, oh, it's onset, but they shared the sweatshirt. But most people, again, said actually Nicola loves getting sweatshirts that are just larger than her. So it's most likely still hers. So I think that's where it came down to. Thanks, Lizzie. Mamacita Flora said, I want a prequel series like Young Sheldon, but about Penelope. Oh, that would be fun. The Greenbird Brigade said, I would guess we won't be getting any more content until they start filming season 4. I mean, it did feel like a goodbye. Though I do think that they have more time um, for this 90-day push to get even higher up in the numbers, but I don't know. Danny says, I've heard that they are in the middle of writing season 4. Kurt Seeing said Nick was supposed to post more BTS. I hope she does. I hope so too. Heather B said, I want a Christmas special. Yeah, I like that one. I think that was shared by Claire to me um of that content creator, because I'm fairly sure Claire claimed it in the comment section, so I could say it. I usually don't say who sent me anything unless they want to claim it in the chats or comment sections. So Busy NP said the carriage scene analysis on YouTube was absolutely amazing. It really needs to be promoted. Yeah, actually Tiff was the first to promote it, and I think that's why I got so many. Well, I don't know if she was, but she was the first person I heard of. There might have been somebody before Tiff, but because Tiff, I think, shared it, like then people like flooded my DMs sharing the link. And so that's why I ended up promoting it as well, because it was just flooding. It became a crowd favorite. Jen said, I felt they were trying to warn us, but they love the numbers. Wait, what? Warn us? Warn us about it ending? Like, what do you mean warn us, Jen? Okay, sorry. No stuff again. Okay. Marissa said, how about Bridgerton movies like they did with Downtown Abbey? That would be awesome. I think I would love some more content in general, especially if things are taking long to produce. Karen said that description was awesome. Jen said it was excellent. KM Shoppy said good night, ladies. Um, good night. Oh, okay. Promotion ending for season 3 is what they were warning us about. Yeah. Jessica Lynn said all Sammy's analysis are awesome. That's what I heard. And so, I mean, it seems like it's a content creator that people knew about. I had never heard of Sammy before, but a lot of folks in my comment section, I feel like either knew or once they got to see the content said, hey, like this is a person worth following, which is always great. I always love it when people find other content creators through something I share, which obviously it comes from people sharing it with me. Um, so I think that's also part of the appeal of the account, is because people have such an integral part of what gets shared. And even though don't get to share everything, um, some of those things eventually get shared. Kurt Seeing thinks they will be announcing season 4 lead soon. I still think it's Benedict. I really do. Marissa said Harriet, who plays Philippa, is going to be in a horror movie. Oh, really? I'm gonna again give you this guy. What horror movie? Oh my word, my nose is going haywire. Yeah, Courtney says I agree. It's Benny. Jessica Lynn said I think it will be Benedict too, and I would do a poll on that, but I feel like it's been a consensus for the most part. Some folks do think it's Eloise potentially, but I think it's going to be like one of those things where it is a double lead. Benedict being the main lead, and then Eloise being a secondary lead. Ronnie said, I hope because they've been dragging Ben out. LOL. Okay, so this movie is video killed the radio star. Angela, this Simstigator, said, I'm hoping for Eloise just because Claudia is hilarious. I do love Claudia is such a great, not only a great actress, but she's just a great interview. She's so herself, very authentically hilarious and just playful. And I don't know, I like her a lot. Courtney G said, I'll be very surprised if it's not. Probably not Benedict, yeah. Um, Nick's Rich said, I'm so obsessed with Nicola Coughlin. I need to meet her. I need to make this happen. I'm sure there's meet and greets that happen or things of that nature. Um, oh my word. Sorry, folks. That came out of nowhere that my nose just started acting up. It wasn't like, I wasn't expecting that at all. So I think it's when I started sneezing. Um, Okay, Heather B said, I think I'm the only one thinking Ellie season is next, LOL. Well, I mean, I do think it's still partly, like, I think it will rev up to her season. And the main reason I think, aside from there seems to be a lot of hints that it's Benedict, but someone sent a video a long time ago about, like, what Penelope was writing in her story and how that there is some sort of new arrival that could be, I forgot how they phrased it, but some people in the chat might know. Mamacita Flores said, ugh, I have to go to bed night. Well, I am always pro sleeping since I never sleep, and that's my problem. And I probably the reason I'm sick half the time is because I don't get enough sleep. Minnie said, yeah, they made a point to mention a masquerade ball that we never heard of before. Yeah. Karen said too many Easter eggs towards Benedict. And people talk about that game that they play, the Pall Mall, or is that what it's called? I can't remember, but in that scene they had a thing where I don't remember if they put up 3 fingers and then it turned out to be 4 or the other way around. I forgot. But the visual was like they did a switcheroo. That was what they were showing with their fingers. So I feel like it will. Kate1_27 said they will mix, I think, the season again. Yeah, possibly. Veronica says she needs to have more adventures before marrying. Mona said Ben's story was really built this season. Love May says I'm excited for Harriet in video. Kill the radio star. Minnie said, yeah, I said new family arrival that will surely bring a bang. Maybe even a Bridgerton bang. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying I feel like it might be. And plus I keep hearing that they're trying to, they're doing a casting call for Sophie. So I feels like that would mean that it would be season 4 would be Benedict's. But Rita's like, no, I think it's Eloise. Minnie says, and how will the people cope with neither of them having social media? Yes, Minnie, how will people cope? I do think no one has the same expectations. I don't think anyone will have the same expectations for them as they did with Luke this season. And I think it's just because people really, really loved Pollen and wanted Luke more, to do more, just because they just like him. And then they ended up, yeah. But Courtney G say, why was Nick with Joe Alwyn? I think they know each other for the past, and he was at the event. So I don't think it's anything more serious than that. I think they just know each other from the past. Because I remember seeing an older photo of them together with someone else. I can't remember who. Jessica Lynn said, I love Claudia, but I still want Theo for Eloise, so I want them to take more time to think on it. Mona said, I miss Nicola too. I cannot wait for more projects of her. And it seems like she is getting booked a lot. Somebody sent me a picture of something called, I think, Bad Sisters. I didn't look into it to see what it's about. But they said she was just added for season 2. And so it's when people start to get busy like that, that's the only time when I'm like, how realistic is it that she's going to be able to do Bridgerton to the same level? because now you got to think of all the filming conflicts, time conflicts, and all that stuff. That's why the person who suggested doing like a Christmas special actually makes sense, because that's easier to plan around if it's just an hour or so special than having to figure out a whole season. Wired Wild Whisper says Eloise is mentioned in the drawing room when Francesca is being married. Um, and what does that mean when being mentioned? Was that supposed to be a hint that it could be Eloise? Is that what you're saying? Karen said, dress in the dress shop looking like Cinderella dress. It's silver. Is that a Sophie thing? Um, Rena said Eloise and Mr. Crane are going to be fire. Danny said, I hope they will have a spin-off of Lady Whistledown, just like Queen Charlotte. That would be interesting. I would also want I want Violet's story. Yeah. I really want Violet's story actually. Yeah, Diana said when Anthony is holding three fingers up to Kate and switching it to four before the last dance scene. Yeah, and I think it was you that gave me that, right, Diana? I was trying to remember, but I feel like it was you. But Jane said I think they're going to move away from the Ton because the stories occur from outside of them. Paratartalet said, hopefully we can all chill. Is anyone else exhausted? LMAO. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, y'all, because if the content does slow down, it's like what do you want to discuss in its place if it does slow down until it's time? Now, mind you, I thought I would not have any content for y'all's after when June 14th happened. I thought, okay, time to pack it in, no more content. And I just started because I had started June 5th. So I was like, well, this was a short-lived account. But here I am, a month and 11 days later, still with stuff. So who knows? Who knows what there will be to discuss? Dulcie said, Lady Danbury's story seems interesting as well. I think so too. I mean, we got a little glimpse of some of the story, but yeah, even more story would be great. I like her as a character. Diana, I want a Lady Featherington story. Yeah. Ronnie said it would be great to see Edmund. Mona said, I believe Nick and Luke would someday be in another project in the future other than Bridgerton. Steph said, would love Violet and Edmund's story and hopefully get a little peek at young Colin and Penelope. Okay, Diana confirmed it was her that gave me that. I knew, I had a feeling, I remembered. Um, let's see. Amy said Caroline is doing a book club to fill the time. Yeah, actually, she asked me to join her as a guest next Wednesday, and I said I have not read the books. Is that a requirement to have read the books? But she told me it won't be a requirement, and I said okay. If you think I'm gonna add value to your live, I'll come. But I was just like, it's a book club. I haven't read the book yet. I haven't done. I mean, it's kind of an interesting thing that I have been in this position with y'all's because in all honesty, like there are fans that are really much bigger fans than I am in the sense of putting in the work. Um, I'm more so I feel like a reporter of what y'all are finding, and then I report it out to everybody else. That's pretty much what this account became. It was like because I would not know half of the things that I discuss if y'all didn't tell me. It's not like something I actively have sought out, and so but because people give it to me and then I'm like, oh, this is really interesting stuff. And I share what I find interesting. And then other folks have found it interesting as well. And so that's been very cool. This is when I say this, this account has been very collaborative. It really has, because if y'all stop sending me things, I probably have, I mean, I could start actually looking at my own for you page, which I haven't seen in ages. Well, I have seen in blips and, but for the most part, my For You page has been my DMs and my emails and sometimes the comments. So, Glaza Gabalio 908 said, "Is it true that Luke liked the last post of Nick in IG, then unliked it?" I saw two people say that. I mean, again, I have no idea though. But two people said they did see that, but I don't know. Um, Mona, Colin, and Gregory's books are my fave. Marissa said we can keep up with side projects of cast members and discuss. Yeah, we could. Pair Tartalet screenshots or it didn't happen. Well, I mean, actually, this was a whole discussion last time because when I apologized a few days ago to someone because I mean, because I'm always a person that wants like like proof, right? But there's a difference, and I want to be able to differentiate this reality, right? There's a difference between the need of proof for us to believe, right, and something being true. So sometimes something is true, but people don't necessarily have the proof to show that it's true simply because, like, if you're looking at a post, you're not going, oh, I should take a screenshot of this post because I think in a few minutes he's going to unlike it or something. So nobody has that kind of proof. Um, Unless people are just start doing that all of a sudden as proof. I don't know, but yeah. But folks have very mixed responses around whether or not he had liked it or not. Okay, Minnie said, I've been stalking that picture, waiting for his like. I didn't see it. Okay, my question for you, Minnie, and others, when you're stalking, like something for a like how does that happen? Like, well, what if you blink and you miss it? Like, I mean, how does is there anything that monitors things? You know, how what do you think? I mean, how do people know? How do people know they didn't miss it in like the millisecond? Does it give some sort of notification? Oh, TLR Vibe says Claire's live was watching it all afternoon. I'd be surprised if that happened without them seeing. Um, Jane said Luke and Nick can chat through text messages. LOL. Minnie said nope, just my eyes. Oh, it's only 5:45 a.m. there. Well, I mean, is that usually when you wake up? Green Bird Brigade. When I usually wake up, unfortunately, sometimes at 4:30, sometimes 5:30. Sometimes I only have 2.5 hours of sleep, which is not recommended, y'all, because that is not healthy, and probably why I have so much going on. um, Amy said you can see his name listed as liked. Heather B said we can check likes, screenshots, see the numbers. We can check likes, screenshots, see the numbers. Karen said, did anyone see Luke's hand when they took wedding video? Nick was playing with Luke's fingers. I'm gonna put you back up in the sky. Yeah. I was noticing that her hand was on top of his hand, where he was very at home in his usual spot. It's funny because he used to just put his hand on her shoulder in pictures. So I was like, when did we get the migration? Was it just for the PR during the PR tour that his hand started migrating further and further? She's his lobster, Lippy says. TK said, I just want to hear that Luke has booked something else. He's an amazing actor. He really is an amazing actor. I know, well, I don't know. I've heard that he has auditioned for things. So I think it's just waiting to hear if he got booked for them or not. Minnie says, I honestly think he's going to like it within the next couple of hours. Minnie also said, no, ma'am, it was 1 year ago when she went to his play, hand on her hip in the booth. That's right. You're right. That's right. I remember that because I remember looking at that photo and being like, wow, he's comfy. Oh, y'alls, I only have 10 minutes left. I told you this was a very short time with y'alls, and probably for the best because how distracting is my nose right now? Uh, and it's also super late. All right. The Greenberg Brigade said, "Has anyone watched the short film he is in, Youth in Bed?" No, but you know what? I has anybody watched the one with Nicola? What was it called? Have you seen that little short film? That I don't know if it's a short film, but it was like Joe and Jennifer, or I don't know. It started with J's. Have you seen that one? Have anybody seen that? Because when I opened up my YouTube, that was promoted to me. Nicola's like show when she was younger. Joe and Jess. Okay, Heather B. Joe and Jess. Did you ever watch it, Heather? Was it good? Was it a good movie if you watched it, Heather? Or maybe you didn't, but you knew what I was talking about. I knew it started with J's. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Karen, yep. It's on YouTube. A millennial underscore mini said Nick posted Lucas in normal clothes. He must have gone to support her on her last day. Um, that is what the other Minnie had shared today when Minnie was my guest on in the beginning of the first 30 minutes of the live. Okay, so you haven't had a chance to watch it either, Heather, right? Paratartalet says, "I'm going to bed. Good night, all. We're gonna be. Well, I will be as well. I'm signing off in 8 minutes, so you just rest. Go ahead and rest as you need to. I'm always surprised when folks are still on the live with me when it's like really super early where you're at. I mean, I'm really grateful and thankful for that because that's like commitment, and I really appreciate that. But it's like, wow, I'd be knocked out. Well, or I wish I would be knocked out. I wish I would be sleeping by then. Jane said, "Do any of you guys prefer Luke in regular clothes?" I mean, I think he looks good in any clothes, really. But he really looked good in that one post. Everybody talked about how stressed he looked, and I was just not even. I was just thinking he looked good in that video. Okay, Heather B said, "Found it. Going to watch now." LOL. Where am I? I'm in Washington State. Kurt Seeing says, "When are the 90 days for Netflix up?" I believe is September 11th. I mean, people have conflicting ideas around that. I thought they said the 90 days is after the release of part two, but others think it's the release of part one. So if it's the release of part one, then the 90 days would be ending in August. Rita said, "Apparently my new bedtime is 2 a.m." Stop it. I don't know why Rena always cracks me up. I mean, really, like I don't see. In my brain, when when Rena said apparently my new bedtime is 2 a.m., I read that differently than if somebody else wrote it. I don't know. I can't explain it. I feel like there's a little bit more sarcasm and jokiness in the way she writes it, even if someone else wrote it exactly the same. I just hear Rena's voice in my head differently. It's gonna throw me off one day, Rena, if you become a guest and you talk and I'm like, this is not the voice in my brain. It's like when people were wearing their face mask during COVID, and then the first time I saw them without their face mask, and I'm like, whoa, that was not what I was expecting for your nose and your mouth. Because in my brain, I saw your eyes, I thought it was something else, threw me off. This happened with my acupuncturist. I saw my acupuncturist for the first time without a mask, and I was like, whoa, totally not what I was expecting. But yeah, I'm about to hit midnight. LOL, said Ronnie. Millennial underscore mini said, "I'm a teacher, and when I saw my kids for the first time and they saw me without masks, yeah, they were probably like, whoa." Rita said, I have a reputation to upkeep. Serena says, what do you do for a living? I'm an educator consultant. So a lot of my work is around facilitation, and it's also around having very difficult conversations about topics that sometimes can be divisive, and people have a lot of feelings around. So, I mean, to some degree, my work has prepared me for this work in being in social media. Ronnie said, that's why you're so good at this. Lippy said, that would explain why you're a natural. Hiva said, that tracks. Serena said, Bocce, I'm a screenwriter and I'm so fascinated by the ship. Can we chat about this? Do you mean right now, Serena, or separately in DM? Separately in DM, sure. You can reach out to me because this is 5 minutes left. And if you ever, and then if I get to know you and you want to extend it out further, we definitely could have even more of a conversation, like with the group itself. But I only have 5 minutes on this one, so send me a DM and we can get a conversation started. Taryn Ray said, I read the Laterals interview and it sounded like he has done a lot of auditions and self-tapes. I mean, I think some people have this image that Luke is not trying to get booked and he's not putting in the work, but I feel like he actually is. It's just that nothing's hitting so far. But that doesn't mean he's not continuing to grind, you know? Maria says, I'm going to sleep seeing the goodbye photo with Nicola wrapping her arms around Luke. Millennial _Mini said, that's awesome. That's why you're good at this. And Heather B agrees. That explains why you're so good at this. Thank you. I mean, honestly, I think the best way to be a facilitator in spaces is, I'm a strong believer in this. Some people may disagree. But I think you actually genuinely have to care about the people. Because if you don't care about people, even when I put very strict ground rules and guidelines, that's still because I'm protecting people and protecting people from the spaces. To have a space, because there's very few spaces, especially on social media, that people feel like it's a soft place to land. And that's why the day that I apologized for how I showed up, because I felt like I was a little bit more careless than I typically would be, it's because I knew like I was kind of exhausted that day. And sometimes like that's not the best time to be doing lives when you're exhausted. But I also really care about people, and I didn't want to. It's almost like a streak got started since June 14th, and I don't want to miss it. I don't know if there will be a day I miss where I don't do a live, but still. Minnie said, 100% absolutely. My degree is in psychology, and I couldn't imagine saying things I've heard. Yeah, absolutely. Hold on, I'm going to give you the sky one more time as I know we only got 2 minutes left, but all right. Oh man, I would love to see Luke sing more. I really would. Like hear him sing. He's got such a beautiful voice. I hope he pursues that more or finds ways to utilize that. Thanks, Ronnie. KKA.RII said, truly love your lives because they're always so peaceful. That's the hope, right? And if it doesn't become peaceful, that's part of the mods' jobs to help like kibosh things. And kind of immediately deal with things if they see something. And the folks that have been with me already know, like I used to say things right in the beginning of these lives. I haven't said it as much because I feel like the folks that know, and then those folks that don't know will know fairly soon, fairly quickly, what will and will not be tolerated in a space. And like I said, there's actually folks, so as folks know, there's certain topics that I don't like to discuss. But one of the things that I've done is, so I told Claire, I messaged Claire, I said, hey, somebody messaged me because they want to talk about this thing that I've told folks already I don't like to discuss. It's not part of my page. It's not something I'm interested in. But I know Claire loves to talk about it on her lives. So I'm like, Claire, is it okay if I just send people your way? Like, I literally send people other places. I'm like, I'm not the one. I'm not the content creator for you, because if you need that, it's not me. And that's okay. But here's a person I know that you probably will enjoy because she's into talking about that. So, and I've done that with other things. I'm like, hey, this person might be better served by this content creator because what they're expressing to me about what they're looking for, I'm not going to provide for them because one, I don't want to, and and it's not my thing. But I don't want them to not have an outlet. So people need outlets for certain parts of their emotions. And so instead of like leaving them high and dry and saying like, no, I'm not going to serve you in that fashion, I'm just saying, hey, there's another person that I know that actually really is into that. And here's her and you can follow her and you can go to her lives. Um, oh, it's 10. I'm already past where I said it. So anyways, I think I saw somebody say something and I was going to read it before I headed off. Oh, B said, yes, thank you for spreading kindness. Yes, B. And I just want to say I'm sorry that, I mean, if this is the B that I think it is, I'm sorry that you experienced what you did. And, I hope it stopped a little bit more. When I was just trying to like think about the Polaroid and all that stuff, it was all just a fun mystery to me. I didn't know that, you were getting any backlash or harm being done to you. So I apologize that that was even happening, even though I was wholly unaware until people made me aware of it. So, but anyways, okay. Oh, good. It's all good now. Good, good. I just don't know why people really go to spaces and say hurtful things to folks. I honestly, I mean, that's why I will take down videos with a quickness. Will you be posting this on YouTube? I just joined after work. Yes, Rachel, I am working on getting videos up. And I thought I was going to try to upload all of the videos, but let me tell y'all, is a lot of videos. So it's most likely I've decided I'm not going to do that. What I will do instead is upload all the videos from the first day I started my YouTube. So I'm not going to do all the backtracking because at that point, a lot of those things are old news to some degree. I will maybe consider putting up some older ones if there's specific ones that people are like, oh, I would have loved to hear about this thing or that thing. But for the most part, probably just from like July 9 on is I'm going to put up the videos. There might be some videos that I still won't put up because it might not make as much sense for people outside of the TikTok universe to listen to. But yeah. Oh, and Philip says July 9th was my birthday. So perfect. LOL. That's awesome. And y'all's I've hit the 500 subscribers. I know I was trying to aim for 1,000, but 500 subscribers still is enough to get monetized once I hit 3,000 watch hours. So that's why I need to get diligent in uploading these videos so folks have something to watch, and can get me to the 3,000 watch hours sooner. Because you can only watch this. I don't know if anybody would actually want to do that, but yeah. So, anyways, I'm like 3 minutes over my time here, so I just wanted to thank y'all for joining me at such a late one. Maybe late for me, maybe not late for some of y'all. Some of y'all, it might be like just good. But Ava said, "Hope you get more than 2 hours of sleep." Me too. Me too. Anyways, thanks everyone. Have a good night or good morning, good day.